Going and I
All right. Well, welcome everybody. What a fantastic day. Thank you for joining us today. It is January 15th, and it is whatever time it is where you are because you're watching things right now. If you're watching the replay, we're glad to have you too because that's important. Welcome to one of, I'm going to say, my favorite times with my mentor. Ask Me Anything, AMA, because here is the opportunity that you get to ask Robert Hollis, an amazing man, an amazing friend, an amazing mentor, and of course, his wife, Terry. Yes, yes, yes. Uh, Questions about anything, anything as it relates to what you and Robert do, anything about just things in general, what you want to do moving forward. So we want to see those questions. And Robert, I'm going to say that they put the questions in the chat and then we will respond appropriately with either bringing them on board or reading the questions ourselves.
yes.
Okay, very good. So make sure that your chat window is open so that we will be watching for questions coming in. Very simple. Put your cursor in the middle of the screen. At the bottom, you see what says chat. Click on that button, and on the right side of your screen, in most cases, especially if you're on a computer, it will appear there. And then what we will do is we will take your questions, we'll line it up, and we'll ask Robert Hollis anything. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get today's Ask Me Anything AMA started. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Robert Hollis.
Well, thank you very much, Craig. I agree. I've been missing these as well, and now that I'm back and I'm sharing with everyone, this whole thing is about. I'm actually just streaming this now on Facebook too. If you guys want to go there and share it, but what you also could do is tell people about the link. It's roberthollis.com/live and say, listen, you're always asking me these questions. Jump on here and ask us. So that's what we'll do. So who's first? First of all, it's welcome my incredible wife, the inspiration and the inspiration why we're in MDC and why she yeah, we got Leo and Dex. Say hi to him. There we go. And the other one's over here. There he is.
They're not far from you, that's for sure.
Stage 4 clingers. All right. So yeah, so let's go ahead and do this. So Craig, I'm gonna leave it up to you.
All right. Well, first question right out of the box, and thank you, Bill Shoemaker, for it. And I mean, he kind of mentions this all the time, but let's go ahead and make it a direct question. Robert, what motivates you the most?
What motivates me the most is, first of all, my family. But I'm addicted. I'm honestly addicted to progress. When someone introduced me to the book, The Science of Getting Rich, there was a quote that was in there, and it was pretty powerful. And it was saying, if you want to believe that you were created, I always have fun with my sons over the years because they believe that they're just random stardust. So maybe that might be hard to get motivated. but me, I believe I was created. I'm unique and no one's got my DNA. And I believe that the quote and the statement within The Science of Getting Rich was very simply this, that your gift, you're a gift from God. And what you do with that gift is your gift back to God. And so, Science of Getting Rich basically has a quote that, you owe it to the world to be the best you can be. Just bottom line, the best you can be. So all over the years in my life, I've always strived. Did I succeed? A lot of years I didn't. But I always try to look at what I did in 2021 and figure out what worked and what didn't. And then I focus more on what does and just continue to progress to be a better person. So that's what motivates me, is just to look at the years prior and see if I can make a bigger impact and help more people and make a bigger difference. So That's what motivates me, that and putting smiles on my family's face.
Terry,
Great question, by the way, Bill.
Terry, what motivates you?
Looking at new houses. They are spendy in Orange County, California, like no other place.
And to show you how she dreams, she watches, Orange County Housewives, and she also watches $1 Million Listing. There's a new one on $1 Million Listing LA, which is Josh and Josh. And it's funny, you know what I mean? A lot of people look at those homes and say, I don't need a home like this. I look at those homes and say, there's some people with incredible talents and gifted to make those kind of homes, and they employ a lot of people. And so it's my goal to make sure that we purchase one of those and consistently do it so we can keep, people feeding their skinny kids.
Right.
Plus, when you make a lot of money, you got to have tax write-offs. Matt, if you're hearing me, raise your hand. It's funny, we came up with what we believe that is going to be Terry's, weekly or daily blog post, and it's going to be called No Fluff Terry. It's like, so we all know, if you don't know her really well.
Hold the bullshit is what it should be called.
So she's going, you're so nice to him. I'm just going to tell him go to work. You know what I mean? What kind of work did you do today? So next one. Thank you very much, Bill. Thank you, Craig, for that addition to that question. That was great.
Absolutely. Because, obviously, we're getting both of you today. And, you have helped Terry, and Terry has helped you over these amazing years that you've been together, and to help you grow to this point in time.
A lot of years.
Yeah. So we appreciate the both of you. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we've been together for 38 years. That's crazy.
Wonderful years.
I think at 40, you do get that big house. I'm not sure if that's on the list. It's like paper or gold. I'm just kidding. I'm putting the new house at 40.
Well, if you got a gorgeous house right now, speaking from being there before, and yeah, so I think I can imagine what can be bigger,
Nicer,
better.
more modern.
Elevator.
Yeah. Oh, why not make it an island or a country, right?
There you go.
Why not?
All right. From Kai Owl, what do you say to somebody who MLM flashes and they say I'm not making any money as an excuse for not doing anything?
So is he saying that they're in network marketing? Or
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If someone, see, what I look at, everything is exactly the same. A lot of people are in relationships, and guess what? The relationship is not getting any better because they do not take the time each and every day to make it a priority in their life. It's just a convenience. And so people do this with their relationships. They do this with their spirituality. They do this with their general well-being. You know what I mean? Just going on a tangent here, but it's funny. Ray Higdon, you started recently, I think about 6 months ago. He found Joe Dispenza, and I hope I'm saying his name right. And he's talking about meditation and how much time he's now spending on meditation. And he just randomly said, how many people meditate? And of course, I heard about meditation from my mentor, 30 plus years ago. And my wife will never, ever BS you. I meditate all the time. And it's like, so to think that my life is is from me actually meditating maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes to now I meditate 2 hours a day for that much time. There's the meditation, the 6-phase meditation by Vijay Lakhani. Craig, listen to this. In June of 2016 is when I first told everybody about that book. And my wife watched me every day go through every chapter. It's difficult for me to read, but if I feel like it's important, I'll do it. And I studied the book. It talked about the meditation. And so 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, that's 6 years. 6 years I've been listening to that meditation at least once a day. And people go, how do you change your mind? It's simple. You know what I mean? It really is. Realize that you are not motivated. Realize that you're telling yourself a crappy story. And so if you're using a computer, you would start to put in new programs and you would make sure that that new program worked all the time. I wish the human mind would allow us just to get rid of the one we have and buy a new, updated, faster computer with new programs. But it doesn't work that way. So you got to realize that if you're not happy, if you don't have a good spiritual life, if you're not full of optimism and positivity, just like I said with the video before I get on here, awareness just means that you know that you're doing something not right. And now what you got to do is correct it. So I'm not the kind of person that can tell you guys that I'm smart enough or good enough to stop the negative thinking. I just know that I've outweighed it with positive thinking. Did you guys catch that? It is mandatory for me to listen. And now when, Terry and I go to bed, she blinds me when the lights are off because she's now using her phone to meditate. I mean, I think the best way that you can motivate people that you love is lead by example. So, now I watch my lovely wife. She's been meditating for years, and, we're all not consistent, but it's neat to say, you know what, I got to start putting newer programs in there. And so I start telling myself a different story. So there you go, Kai. So that was a long answer to a person that's in network marketing that's not doing anything, or they're just not making it a priority. It's not a priority in their life. So if it's not a priority, they're not going to do anything. So instead of trying to motivate unmotivated people, find people, Kai, like you, that are motivated. They'll do the work. They'll take it serious. They really want to change.
And I'm going to kind of follow up with that, because with the 6-phase meditation, it talks about something you've even shared with us before, visualization.
Yes.
And how important that is. Can you explain that a little bit more, please?
Yeah, absolutely. VISION, the acronym for me is Vision, Inspire, Success, and Other Now. There's been a few times in my life that I've been inspired with a quote, and when I go to look for it on Google, no one else has said it. That's one of them. So if you don't have 2022 vision, there you go. It's like, if you don't learn to imagine, as children, we see the imagination running wide open. They got their imaginary friends. They're talking to their imaginary friends. It's like you really have to imagine the life that you're going to have in the future, the experiences that you're going to have. And you really got to get deep into it. If you notice in 6-phase meditation, it will consistently say, don't forget to use all your senses. So, I always tell people, if you wanted a home someplace, go there, take a picture of it. And then guess what? Reach down and grab some dirt, smell it, look around where it is. Terry and I still have a picture of a piece of property in Crystal Cove. So it's neat that you can see pictures online as they're showing Orange County, and Terry and I go, that we know exactly where that piece of property is, because I can't tell you how many homes Terry and I have looked at and how many streets that we've driven on. And I thought this the other day, I plan on doing a little tour of our little place here, and share it with everyone. And I thought right away, there's going to be a whole group of people out there that are going to say, I would never live in California. That's because you've been listening to other people tell you about the bad parts of California. I wouldn't want to live where you live if someone told me all about the bad parts. But me and Matt and Terry were laughing yesterday. We went to take a trip and we're going, my God, it's sunny and 75 with no humidity. I wonder what the rest of the world is doing. Nice ocean breeze. So I hope that helps. But yeah, you got to train yourself how to imagine.
AKA vision, AKA visualization.
There you go.
All right, the next question is kind of another follow-up with regards to the six-phase meditation. How do you and Terry, thank you, Norma. I'm going to say, hope her name is Dager or Dagger, um, Dagher. How do you both start your day?
Want to go first?
Well, I wait for Robert to get up and let the dogs. Once the hot pot's done, then I can. I mean, I have a cup of coffee and say hello to my guys here and stuff. And I don't know, look at what's on social media, look at positive stuff. And I do reading in the bathtub. I like to take a bath. I have a stack of books that I read. So I have my markers, my little tabs and everything. So yeah,
Don't forget your vibe of the day.
my vibe of
I
the
was
day.
just going to say that. That is something that is, I religiously look for that.
Yeah, it's funny. If I don't do a vibe of the day, or sometimes it'll share it from Instagram and sometimes it won't. So sometimes I'll post it twice on Facebook, but I'll have people, are you okay? Because you haven't done your vibe for 2 days. I'm like, well, I thought I shared it from Instagram to there, but yeah, they're like, it's almost like a job to put vibe of the day up. And I think I started that a couple of years ago. I don't know. I just surfing around on Instagram and found that. And I was like, oh, cool. So I just have been posting it for years. Robert said I should get on TikTok and read them, but I don't know, that might be kind of boring, but
I don't think it
anyway, I do my vibe of the day and yeah.
Well, me, I normally get up around, I don't know, about 5:36 in there when I have to go to the bathroom. And when I go to the bathroom, then when I lay back down, I have my phone right next to the bed. It's always shut off and the ringer's shut off, but all my meditation's on there. And so the first meditation I listen to in the morning, I might as well talk about that tomorrow since I'm bringing it up here, is rapid transformational therapy. It's called RTT, and it's something that I listen to. Belinda Dupree, I'll bring up her name tomorrow, and it was something where I reached out to her. I read about it. She did a therapy session with me, and then what she did is she recorded all the stuff that I was having trouble with my childhood. And so, so I listened to that, and it's about 20 minutes, I think. And then right after that, I listened to six-phase meditation. And depending on how early I listen, there's a lot of little music audios that have affirmations from Abraham Hicks. So if I get up super early, I'll listen to those, and it'll get me so motivated I want to get out of bed. And if not, then I'll get up. Like she said, I let the guys outside and walk out to the gate with them, regardless of how much the temperature is. And then when I get in, I turn on the hot pot for her. And then the next step is I actually spend probably maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes praying. And for those of you that prayer is very simple, is just being thankful for everything. So that's where I'll, mention my family and, thank God for everything. I believe in a higher power, and I mention everything that I'm thankful for. And that really gets me in the right mindset. And after prayer is usually, if I didn't listen to my audios that pump me up of Abraham Hicks with music and affirmations, that's when I'll listen to it. So usually when Terry comes downstairs, the boys are going crazy, Dex and Leo, and I'm usually either having my headphones on or listening to that. And then I'll stop that and give her a hug and kiss, and then we start our day. So there's the morning, huh? So how many people on here post yes if every one of you meditate an hour before you start your day? Okay. A lot of people are like, nope.
Well, even if it's just like a few minutes, I think, because I know you've said that too, it's just shut everything off, do it for like maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. That still works.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, it's just, if you turn it into a habit, to think that I've heard, and I believe 1000%, that the way you start your day is the way you have your whole day go through. When I'm talking to people, and if I got up in the morning, the very first thing that I did on my phone was look at social media, then guess what? The priorities would be gone. I make sure that all my apps are shut except for the music app. So if I got up and there was even things in there from Telegram or emails or whatever stuff, then people go down that rabbit hole, and then a day's gone and they didn't get anything accomplished. So, it's a priority for me.
Excellent. And in fact, what is it? Eric Markham says on the Facebook, Terry, that he wants you to start doing audio. Let's see. Who here votes for Terry to read the vibe on TikTok? And I'm going to say, if you do that, it should not only be on TikTok, but also Instagram and Facebook.
It's got to be over 1,000 votes.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody, there you go.
And only one vote per person.
Okay. Okay. Darn it.
Okay.
All right. Going to an industry question. Robert, did you use the same method to grow your team to 30,000 people with the current company you're with, MDC, like you did in previous companies where you had amazing results?
Yeah. What I did, and you guys are seeing me do this right now, is what I do first is I think of every video that someone would need to point, guide, direct someone to for them to be able to be successful. My mentor, we're going 30 plus years back, those were called VHS tapes. So I had a VHS tape on the business opportunity. They called it the opportunity of a lifetime. And then what he had is a 4-step quick start training. And then he had like a super Saturday training. And the stuff that I teach in videos like edification, how to properly invite, how to create a very exciting story and learn to be able to edify and get someone in front of those videos. What I'm doing right now since the beginning of the year is doing exactly those. Matt will really laugh at this because he's been around me for 30 years. I went and looked at my YouTube channel, and believe it or not, I looked at the most viewed hits. And the most viewed hits is me doing a presentation, $1 million question, how to edify and promote, and how to properly invite, art of inviting. Isn't it amazing that those videos are on there a year ago? We redid them 3 years before that. And when I first had my YouTube channel, they're on there. So it's pretty interesting to see me each and every time I step in to build this, that I immediately teach people to go out and talk to everyone they know. I'm really sort of silly of this thing where people say, I don't want to talk to my family and friends. If you did it the proper way, it would work. If you did nothing but mentally think that they're a doorway to somebody else, that might be a doorway to somebody else, to them getting involved in this business. If you never looked at anybody ever getting involved in this business that you personally contacted, you're gonna make millions of dollars. But what people want to know is a robotic script to close someone and get them to buy product and then move on to the next. It's like people only do what they know. You know what I mean? Isn't it Maya Angelou that says, when you know better, you do better? So I was just blessed to know better. So I can call up anybody, and say, hey, Bill, we haven't talked in a while. I thought of you today. I was on a video conference and I sort of got inspired to really help this company go out and build, because I just believe in the owners and what it's doing. And I was wondering if you could do me a huge personal favor. I'd like to send you an affiliate link, just like Amazon. You put your name and your email in there, and it'll take you to a video that starts to explain who we are and what we're about. Once you create a free account, you can click on a lot of videos to understand from the owner who we are and what we're doing. And I know for a fact, once you go through those videos, you'll know somebody that needs us. And that's what we're doing. So, even to this day, I still build business that way. And a lot of people don't know this, but we're 3 years, 10 months into the company. And listen to this number: 99% of the people that are in our group that we get paid off right now are people that Terry and I didn't know 3 years and 10 months ago. There was a small group of people that were following us and building our brand when we're doing that. And of course, people like Melody Riva, a lot of other people, Scott Kloster. There was some people that have just been very dear friends of ours, Craig Jackman being one, that, you know, as soon as they heard that I was stepping back into the world of referral marketing, they didn't hesitate. They just jumped. They just jumped in, and we all did extremely, extremely well.
Now, I'm going to follow that up with a personal question, because
Sure.
one of the questions that I know it's come up a couple of times, you've mentioned it in some videos, but it's still a good question to go to here in an Ask Me Anything following what you just said. Obviously, you have a foundation that you've built over the last 35 years in doing the business. But of course, the one thing that's always consistent is change. So how do you adapt? Because people say, well, you didn't say that before.
Right. What I do is I'll give you a perfect example and analogy that maybe every one of you could get right away. Our incredible son, Matthew, that's on here, love and appreciate him so much. He is a guy that is a first advantage mover. He is, I love and adore him because he's a great risk taker. He's got a lot of confidence in himself. He just believes in who he is and what he does. So he's always like gets the first mover advantage, I guess you would call it. And so when, you know, Elon Musk decides that he's going to sell an electric car, Matt said, I'm getting one of those. I'm like a mechanic and I'm very analytical, and I'm going, listen, you don't know anything about these cars. You know, the last thing I would do is buy anything new until they figure it out. I can't believe I actually say that out loud, but that's one of the things that you shouldn't do, right? And so Matt bought a Tesla, and when Matt's excited about something, the other thing I love about his passion and purpose is he's going to let the whole world know about it. So Matt's like one of those individuals that he says he's going to do something, he tells the world, and then he figures it out as it goes. For those of you that are having difficulty, you do it the other way around. Did you hear? So what a lot of you do is you figure everything out, and then you try, and then you don't get success, so you tell nobody. All right. So Terry and I, we buy a new Escalade every 2 to 3 years as a company lease. We get to write it off. And so we ordered the new 2021 Escalade, and they didn't have chips available and said, we don't know when we're going to send it. So that allowed Matt to pounce. And yeah, and he used his affiliate link, and he's like, Mom and Dad, come on, get a Tesla. The reason I'm bringing this up is when we got the Tesla, that car literally doesn't do anything that any other car does. You guys catch that? It's like sometimes we're around evolving where we go from a phone that's 2 colors that's attached to the wall that has a big cord to it, and then we go from that to a cordless phone. Wow, what a concept, you know, it's a big brick. And then they use that same brick with a big antenna on it and turn it into a cellular phone. And if you look at the cellular phones, they just keep evolving. Like it goes from a cell phone to a smartphone, right? Where now you're holding a computer in your hand and virtually can do anything. So it's unique to me that people would not want to evolve in anything they're doing in life. Why wouldn't you want the newest, best version, the fastest version? And so that's how I do this. I look at, you know, me talking to people face to face on the street, getting their phone number and setting a time once they get home, because there wasn't cell phones, for an appointment to go meet them and their significant other to watch our videotape, a VHS tape. I guess I could still do that, but my goal is to connect with somebody, get them excited through my story and edification of Josh and Jenna, to get them to listen to a video that they can watch at their own time online. I'm still doing the same thing, just different ways. And so, you know, when we first got involved in this company, we created 312 people in 2 weeks that did a personal pre-enrollee account. Out of the 300 plus people, 81 of them decided to activate their position and actually buy product. Those 81 combined did a little over 27,000 in volume. That made Terry and I 25K. That same momentum carried us into the next month at 50K, and so on and so forth. So yeah, so if I now can tell people that they can easily pique the interest of somebody, connect first, then pique interest, ask for help, and now they can go to a page and just put in their name and their email and immediately watch me do a video telling them how to create a free account. And then I point, guide, and direct them to what they need to do before they get back to you. That's pretty streamlined. And of course, there's still people that are even involved in MDC and in marketing all over the world that are still using the phone that's attached to the wall with a curly cord. And I guess I'm okay with that. But once Terry got the Tesla, it is amazing how you don't do this, you don't do this. I'll show you a perfect example of Terry and I is we jump in our Escalade. We recently went and visited my son and his wife, Amy, and our grandkids, Olive and Ryder. And we get out of the Escalade all the time and it's still running. Did you guys catch that? For some of you that didn't, we're driving a computer that has 4 tires on it. So we'll get in the Escalade and go, oh, yeah, we got to put our foot in the pedal.
I got to open my own door.
Yeah, first you walk up to the car,
the Tesla,
and the door doesn't open up for you in the Escalade. What the hell is that? To show you how fast technology changes, thanks for bringing that up. When I'm around my wife, I beat her to the door to open the door for her. Tesla took that away from me. And then guess what they did? They switched it. So my wife's walking toward the Tesla, her door opens up. She steps in and punches a button and the door opens for me. My wife now is opening the door for me to get in the car. And I like it. I like it. We show up and pick up Matt and Hannah, and my wife opens up the doors for them. And of course, they're gull-wing doors. You know what I mean? But it's pretty interesting. So, like, just a little thing we just said, you'll pull up. By the way, we have to grab this shifter. What the hell is that? We actually got to grab a shifter and put it in park. And then we get out of the vehicle because you don't have to shut the Tesla off. You gotta shut the gas motor cars off. So I hope, Craig, that answered your question. It's like when you evolve and you try to market in 22, you in 22 need to market how to market in 22. So if you didn't do good in 21, forget all that stuff and learn how to market the right way in 22.
And that's why we're happy to have you back, because you're showing us how to do that in 22.
Yeah. Referral marketing is the easiest thing we do in the world. It's just why people, I on a video that I did this morning, you guys are going to hear me talk about a new concept and you can Google it. It's just like, 13 years ago, I didn't know what cryptocurrency is. And I would honestly say it has only been the last 3 months that I've even really cared to find out what it is. Just because you don't hear about it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And if you choose, this is a choice, to hang around a group of people that think that it's not going to go anywhere and that it's stupid, and then the very same people that had large influences were telling people that it was stupid, but now they have 50% of their portfolio invested in it. You got to sort of listen to other people. It's always fun to talk to an individual who says, this is stupid. And then you see a video from them, 13 years later, and it's like, I'm all in. It's hilarious to me because that's called a trend. And so this industry is unique and different. It still blows me away that people look at what we do and they try to pin it back to even the way we did this business 2 years ago. 2 years ago. It's fascinating to me because you should evolve. You know what I mean? You should find out the fastest and the quickest way to get people exposed to this business in the right, proper way, and the system will take care of itself. So thanks for whoever asked that question.
And just as a reminder for everybody who's watching, that if you have questions for Robert or Terry, please post them in. Now we're broadcasting both on Facebook and here in Zoom. So either chat, you can post questions. We've got questions coming in and we will share them with Robert and Terry. To get back to the questions, I've one from Lisa Marie says, if you had to start all over, and I know you have before, with the knowledge that you have now, what would you do differently, particularly with the way things are right now?
I said a statement about Matt. That's true. I do the same thing. Maybe that's where he picked it up. Maybe I can get a little credit for this. But when I make a decision, I tell the world and then I figure it out as I go. So you guys are seeing a new commitment for me for 22. And what I do is I don't want to tell people what to do. I want to show them what to do. So I was telling my wife today, it'd be hard to find someone. We're talking about what is the 15th of the month. And I'd probably easily put 22 videos out. So I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to 100% lead by example. So if she's asking, what would I do different that I did before to now? It's like, here's the first one that popped in my head. The very first thing that I would do, Lisa, is I would dream bigger. I would dream bigger. I'm not looking at being super affiliate. I'm now looking at being master affiliate. And another thing is that I'm one of those individuals in this business that can put so much focus, effort in, like the pushing the bus analogy that I use. You just got to really focus and make this a priority. And put other things aside, just so long enough to find a few individuals that you can lay a path and do that. For those of you that won't do what I'm doing, then you got to edify me. You know, I'm going to be different in 22. You know what I mean? I would normally say edify somebody. No, I'm going to tell you to edify me, because you're going to watch me go to master very, very, very quick. And when I make my mind up to do something, I find out what it is. And everyone thinks this is so difficult. Here's what we do. We learn to tell an effective story of somebody else. I know some of you love to talk about yourself. It's like, okay, so I love talking about somebody else. I love to edify somebody else. And then when you get great at that story, now you just got to get it in front of more eyeballs than anybody else. That's the winner. So some people look at me and go, Robert, man, oh my God, you're really going crazy. We're not advertising. I just go through the mental attitude, and here's my mindset so you guys know. I look at my daily choice and what Josh and Jenna are doing, especially in the next couple of months with the new revision of everything. And as they revise this new company, I know that the new Apple MacBook Pro's coming out. And we've already made millions of dollars in the last 3 years and 10 months. So my goal now is to go back to every single individual that I have a contact with. And some of you are not willing to do that. So I would really simply reach out to every single person I have ever been in contact with and say, Dustin, listen. Oh, by the way, Dustin, congratulations on the Zoom coin. Yeah. So I always tell to everybody, hey, Dustin, happy 22 to you. I hope you and your family had a great holiday season. I was on a web conference and I thought of you. I know you may or may not know this, but Terry and I got involved with the company a little over 3 years ago. And the company just consistently gets better. And I know that this might not be for you at the right time, but I was wondering if you could do me a huge personal favor. I'd really appreciate it. Dustin, if I can send you a link to this amazing company and its marketing system, would you please create a free account like you would with Amazon or Facebook? And then I'll guide you just through a few videos where you can create a free account. And Dustin, I know for a fact, once you go through the information at your time, you're going to know of some people we can help. I really appreciate you. Would you do that for me? Now, some of you, I've even had people do this. They'll hear me do that. And then they'll write the words down. And then they say, I share it with 300 people and no one does anything. And I said, great, can you just send it to me? And you know what ends up happening? I got it instantly. Why? Because there's copy and paste. Wow, how many people feel really good when you know that you get a copy and paste from somebody? And then the second thing they do is after they copy and paste you, they ignore you. How would you feel? How would you act? So I get this copy and paste. Hey, this is the best investment in the world, get involved with this. And I go, how long are you doing this? So are you getting involved? Yes or no? So even the questions that you ask them get ignored. This happens to me every day. So I'll try to ask them a couple of questions. And when I see they're basically a robot, well, why would I want to work with someone like that? Don't be that person. Don't be that person. And some of you still won't do audio messages. You know why I'm so good with audio messages? I was thinking of this the other day. Because when I got involved in the business, something like parents telling you they had to walk in snow waist deep, uphill both ways. When I got in this industry, you only could do it with your voice. I wasn't writing text on a card and handing it to somebody and saying, read this. I had to do it with my voice. I had to do it. Hey, hello. Oh, hi. I'm Robert. Who are you? Oh, my name is Nicholas. Hi, Nicholas. You live around here? Yeah, I do. Listen, I was wondering if you could help me out with something. If I can. I'm helping a company expand right now. You guys, I'm just like, but did you notice that I introduced myself first? Did you notice that I said hi first? Did you notice that I asked their name first? Did you notice that I used their name in the next sentence? Some of you got to learn to connect. People don't care what you know until they know that you care.
Absolutely. And thank you, Maya Angelou, for that too.
Yes, absolutely.
Just a little comment here from Sarah Peebles. She says, thank you, Robert and Terry. I've been in business for a long time, but never as excited as I am now. And I appreciate you and your mentorship so much. And I think I speak to that for most everybody who's watching here, because we do appreciate you, what you're sharing with us, and your amazing knowledge of the industry and how you're trying to do what you can to make it as simple as possible for people to follow.
Yeah. You know what I said? Thank you so much. That means the world to me. That's why I do this. I had to go through some personal development in the last couple of years. I'll be very transparent here. I'll be very vulnerable here. I stopped doing videos because I didn't feel like anyone was listening to me. So there's nothing for me personally that bothered me more than seeing a group of people always watching my videos and then not applying them to change their life for them and their family. It's like, wow. So I thought if no one's going to listen to me, I'm just going to stop doing videos. So I was doing videos before, not only because I had the wisdom, but I was selfish. So I was willing to do the video, but I needed to get something out of it. I needed you to apply it and get results. Now I know I'm enough. Now I know I'm worthy. And I also know the knowledge that I possess is going to make people never work for anybody again. So I just got to put the videos out and believe with all my heart, with all of us agreeing together, that it's going to touch the right people at the right time. It's always worked that way for me. But there was a part of my ego that felt like, I watch people struggle. And then the next thing I know, they're not listening to me, but they then hire another trainer, or they go to another book, or they do something else. And then I notice that they're still not on the leaderboard for whatever company they are. And now I just know that that's part of their journey. So I'm going to be more transparent and more vulnerable. And when people reach out to me, Melody has been one of my cases as friendship of anyone that really has made me super, super proud. Because people will reach out to me and tell me how much you're having stinking thinking and all of this. And I would always ask Melody, what day are you on? That only worked on Melody twice. She goes, what do you mean? What day am I on? And she would get mad. Me and Melody have hung up on each other. She's cried. And what I was saying to her is, how many days in a row have you read the chapter you were told to read in The Greatest Miracle in the World? The third time I asked her, she had a number. And she's had a number ever since. So Melody's not the same person that I met years ago. So as a mentor, just like Yoda, all I can do is give you guys the information. If you use it, great. If you don't, I'll find others. So you guys are going to see me in 22 leading by example. And some people are going to watch me recreate large groups in this industry like I've done for 30 plus years. And you guys are going to feel left behind. And then you're going to ask me, hey, why didn't you take the time to work with me? And I'm going, you know what? You seem to be able to binge on Netflix. Why don't you binge on my YouTube channel? So there's only two groups of people that watch videos and then retain them, watch them over and over. Terry knows this about me. My mentors tapes, I ruined the VHS tapes. I wore them out and bought new ones. I have leather bound journals, more than one, that have different notes on each video. This is when you know you're mastering something. Why would my notes be different? Because I was a different Robert Hollis when I watched the video the first time. Then 2 years later, I'm watching them again, and the notes that I'm pulling out of the videos are different. Why? Because when the student's ready, the teacher appears. I've listened to Jim Rohn even today, and I'm going like, I never heard that before. The thing that blows me away with the old Yodas is the words were always there. It's just that I wasn't at the right mindset to hear it. Now I listen to a Jim Rohn deal and I'm looking at Terry and I'm going like, why do we use sophisticated words like marketing? Why? Why do we use words like entrepreneur, home-based business, network marketing, affiliate marketing? When you go back and watch all the old stuff that Jim Rohn says, he says, listen, you need to use words to tell a story to someone about the struggle of where you were. Then you use those same words to talk about the answer that you found to your problem. And then what you do is you tell them stories about people that you're working with that use those words to now get a lifestyle that everybody wished they had. So you use the words and story. Not, I'm an incredible marketing company and I'm a global international expander, and it's like, we have a tendency of using words to impress people, but people are not impressed. If they were impressed, they'd get in business with you. So it's like, I'm now making this business simpler for me. And when I do that, people go, you know what? It makes sense. Fred Herzog, dear best friend of mine. didn't graduate high school. And he used to say, if it makes sense, it makes dollars. He used to stand in people and say, listen, if you get excited about the life that you can have and you put the butts in the seats, he'll put the green in their jeans. And so Fred Herzog says, who can't get excited about making a lot of money by edifying and promoting the heck out of Robert Hollis? No matter where he is, I'm going to put more people in front of him than anybody else. He does the work. I got to do my work. So everything that me and Fred were ever involved in, there's no one that put me in front of more people than Fred Herzog. And his income showed it. I'll give you one last thing about Fred. People would talk to Fred Herzog and he would edify and promote his downline so well. Listen to the mastery here. So well that when I met people, they'd go, wow, how long has Fred been in the business? And I said, he got in the same time I am. How's that possible? I go, what do you mean? And he goes, well, I talked to him about how much he was talking and bragging about Alberto Martinez. I thought that Fred Herzog was in Alberto Martinez's group. No, Alberto is underneath Fred. How humble is that? That when someone talked to you, they believed that you were in your downline's group because you were so good at telling their story instead of yours. That's what I'm going back to. Craig?
Wow. Yes, thank you very much. And by the way, for people who are interested in following Robert, I've posted links in both the Facebook and Zoom chats for both the Vision Team, which Robert is created and is helping us with on Facebook, as well as his own YouTube channel. So you can find a lot of things there. The 2022 version of Robert Hollis is now coming back and showing us what to do and how to do it. And please, every day, ladies and gentlemen, 12 noon Pacific, Robert's posting up a video to help us move forward. And I agree also with what Daniel G. Van Zyl said about Robert, your biggest success is sitting right there next to you. If it were not for Terry, none of us would have been here today. Eternally thankful for you, Terry. And in fact, there is a question here for Terry from Lisa Marie.
No idea.
Can you put me in contact with someone that knows the ins and outs for letting an organization use our 40 acres for an animal rescue? I guess she's interested in animal rescue. Do you have anything to share about that?
I could probably share a couple of organizations that I support, and they could probably help her with that.
So contact you privately?
Do you want to give a shout out?
Oh, yeah, like the Goats of Anarchy. And then I do one for golden retrievers where this elderly couple rescue golden retrievers, and a lot of them come from, was it China? So they get shipped over here, and then they gotta get them all well and everything, and then find people for those dogs. So I like that one. But yeah, Goats of Anarchy. I can't remember the other one. There was another one. I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head. But if she sends me a private message, I'll send her those, and maybe somebody there can help her.
What a great heart, Lisa. That is so awesome.
Fantastic, Lisa. Thank you so much. Getting back to, I guess, the business, from Norma Dare again, Robert or Terry, how do you market besides social media? I mean, do you buy leads?
Do not buy leads, do not advertise. And here's a filter that I learned from my mentors. So this is really, really beat into my head. I don't do anything that doesn't duplicate. So, I use this analogy, and you think different. A business owner thinks different than a consumer and salesperson. So, a real estate, again, I've been using this analogy, and I'll be using it a lot. You can either be a buyer or a seller of a home. That is a total different mentality than someone that's an agent. A real estate agent, they have different thought patterns. They have different personal philosophies. A broker that looks for and recruits and trains other agents has a different personal philosophy and thinking. So think about this. If you were a person that was soliciting brokers for your Remax franchise, I don't think that's an advertisement. You see what I mean? Hey, all brokers, I have a Remax franchise. First of all, the top people that you'll find in the world, the top 5%ers, they're not looking at ads. All the people that put their names in these capture pages for leads are not the people that you want in your group. Because they're the people that watch infomercials, that buy stuff and then don't use it. You see what I mean? There's this mentality. When I first learned this mentality, it blew me away, is that if you were selling a brand new exercise or a weight loss program, you know who you go to? You go to people that are addicted to personal training. You go to people that are addicted to learning a new state of the way that they can get in top physical condition and get in great shape. There's a lot of people out there that market to overweight people that don't exercise. Why? Because they buy the Bowflex or they buy the rowing machine and they just don't get on it. They don't use it. So a lot of people that do leads and stuff like that, it's not duplicatable. So listen closely. Only do what duplicates. Don't do what works. So let me give you a perfect scenario. If I used to be very good at recruiting people off the street, so I would run into someone and see them go hi and do the whole, do me a huge favor, $1 million question, and then get them to look at the links. But the person that I used to do that to would go, oh, the way that you do business is you have to talk to people that you don't know face to face on the street. I'm out. So the reason that I use a simple system in social media is for the biggest reason that people say, no, wait a minute. How does this work? How does this do this? Well, listen, remember when I connected with you on a Facebook page? Remember when I connected with you in whatever social media? Oh, yeah. Let's go back and look at the thread. Let's try to remember where I connected with you first, what I said or what you said that got us connected to start doing a private Facebook chat. Let's see what we did. And when they go back and see how I connected them, why Melody became a 25K super fast is she already knew me and I was teaching this stuff. So she copied the exact way I invited her. That's all she did. Oh, this is what Robert said to me. This is how he did it. So that's what I'm going to do to everybody else. So the reason that I don't do leads is because I don't know. I'll say this statement. Do you guys realize that only 5% of the people in the world are sales types? The other 95% are not sales types. So there's people out there that are getting the product and then they're building a large, loyal, satisfied customer base. And that's okay. I want 1 million of you in my group because you're going to get great results from the product and your customers are going to get great results from the product. And you're going to make money. So real estate agents make money. Wait a minute. Only 5% of them do. Did you guys hear that? You can Google it. Do you know, listen to this statistic and it'll scare you guys because people think that marketing and what we do is difficult. Listen to this. 98% of all people that pass their real estate license never sell a home. 98%. But if you went in every area in the United States and the world, there's always someone that's the new $1 million earner. Did you guys catch that? And to be $1 million earner, you would have to sell probably $10 million worth of real estate. And they're new. Why? because they went, wow, looks to me like those Altman brothers on, you know, $1 Million Listing in LA. Oh my God, me and Terry watched last night, and this is their 6th or 13th year. And it showed them looking at each other, and he goes, you know what? One day we're going to do $100 million in sales in real estate in 1 year, he was telling his brother. And he's going, listen, I see that it's a great way to make money, but 100 million, last year they did $1.2 billion in real estate.
Only 2 guys.
He taught his wife, and his wife did $100 million in sales.
Herself.
So broker, she became a broker and an agent. So she made $6 million. Been with him for 11 years. Let's talk about the other 98%. They had the idea. They did what they needed to pass the bar. They just don't want to follow instructions.
And they know it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Okay, so how do I get a listing? You go out and talk to people and you meet them and say, hey, would you be interested in buying or selling a home? Oh my God, that sounds like a difficult script. And every one of you have had a person that's a hustler that wants to change your life say that one sentence to you. What do you got to say? Hey, Craig, how are you? Oh, guess what? You know what I'm excited about right now? I decided to be a real estate agent. Shut up. Really? Yeah. Just got my license, really excited. You know, what are you up to, Craig? I'm doing it, you know, acting and getting my profile out there. I'm, you know, going to continue doing that. That's my love. Well, listen, I hope you and the family are doing great. Yeah, I hope your family's doing great. By the way, Craig, here's my business card. If you know of anyone that might be interested in selling or buying a home, I'd really appreciate if you mentioned my name. Could you do that for me? Now, how many of you know what the follow-up is on that? There isn't any. I'll leave that for another training. I'm not going to call Craig every day. Did you think of somebody? Did you think of somebody? You think about selling your home and buying a home? No. No. Okay, great. I'll call you tomorrow. Craig, listen. Next thing I know, he's not answering my phones. Next time we're not friends. Next time I see him out, he's hiding. He's turning his eyeballs and he's walking away. That's what this industry is knowing about. It's trying to sell somebody instead of trying to get them to help you by introducing somebody. Do you guys like that? So I'm just looking for people that are open to helping me out. What I know about numbers is the majority of them won't, but I know some will. And that's what makes us $1 million a year. See, I always dreamed in my mind, God, it'd be cool to be a millionaire. And then I thought, residual income and leverage? What if we were $1 million a year? $1 million a year. Now I want millions in liquid. So there you go. Raise your goals, shoot higher for the moon. Craig?
Got a couple more questions if you're up for them.
Sure.
Okay, fantastic. First of all, before we go to further questions, I do want to thank Melody Ryba and Matthew Hollis because they are also helping us with this broadcast in the background. So Matthew, Melody, bless you guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
I see Melody post on here. Leave the scripts to actors like Craig. Yeah, just be you, Melody. So right on.
Absolutely. The next question comes from 2 people. It's similar but same. The first person who posted this earlier was from iPad 2, but I can associate it also with James Saunders. How do you avoid distractions?
James, the number one thing is to realize that you have them. Everything in life is about awareness. So if you get done with the day and you say, how many new people did I build a relationship with and build a trust where they know, liked, and trust me enough to check out a couple of videos and create a free account? Nobody. Why? Ask yourself, why? If this business is about building a team, then why haven't you talked to someone new? Why? I got distracted. Great. Then figure out the distractions and don't do that anymore. We're all human. Go check out a YouTube channel. Next thing we know, oh my God, 2 hours went by. I was watching all these YouTube channels. You know what I mean? Watching TikTok, scrolling through social media. It's like, people don't believe this, but I very rarely scroll on Facebook, and I never go on Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, none of those. I have too many children to help. So it became a priority for me, James. It became such a priority for me that, with $1 million, I can do a lot. With 5 million, I can do more. With 12 million, I can do even more. So I know a lot of people out there. You guys, this is a video I'm going to do, but I believe 1000% that we're living in the best times that ever were created. The simplicity of this business, the way that the industry's changing, to allow someone that has no money to get in for free and make money to move themselves all the way to master affiliate. Are you freaking kidding me? And I can talk to people in all over the world, including Africa and Latin America, and countries where they just have a phone and everyone in the world knows what Wi-Fi is. I can take an individual that can access Wi-Fi and teach them through my videos in Zoom to change their whole neighborhood, to change their whole village. And so that's how I stay from being distracted, James. So, what's your priority, And so if you don't, and again, like Craig brought up, if your vision and your imagination isn't exciting in life, then you don't have anything to move forward. You're not looking forward to anything. I'm excited to meet new people. That jacks me out of my mind all day, every day. I get to meet brand new people. So that's what I do. So just like I got to meet you and your beautiful wife. It's like, I love meeting new people. So Craig, back to you.
All right, let's go ahead and continue on that train of thought, because John Tier brought up, how many people do you talk to on Facebook every day? Obviously, that's your platform of choice.
Some of you have seen me do trainings over the years, and I'm going to be doing more where Matt, he comes up with these incredible ideas that just really excite me. And I thought, man, if people have virtually millions of people following them on Twitch while they're playing a freaking video game, don't get mad at me, no judgment. All right. But Matt's teaching me stuff every day. And he came up with this thought I've never heard of called parasocial. And parasocial is people that believe that I care for them because I do. And so I'm going to start figuring out ways to be able to do what I do each and every day while you guys watch me do it. I'm just going to log on. You'll see me, you'll see my screen, and you'll watch how I return messages, answer questions for people, how I ask them if they know of anyone, how I reach out into groups. And because I'm willing to put myself out there and not be scared, a lot of people reach out to me. You know what I mean? So, how many of you would like a Candice Bird Davis in your group? So, when Fred Herzog passed away, Twilla reached out to me. I believe her last name's Potter from TLC. She reached out to me and said, Fred said whenever I was in problem and needed something to reach out to you. And so she put 5 girls on a Zoom with me. And one of those women were Candice Bird Davis. So Candice then reached out to me and said, I'd like to learn from you. And I said, I'd love to work with you. I'd love to build that. So here's something that you guys have to take out of your mind. The journey is from here to here. The overthinking is how many people and how many hours, how many no's. Okay, so if you're traveling and let's say you're flying or you're driving to a location. You know, so when I know someone's not ready for the journey. When I said, wow, have you ever been to Las Vegas? No, I haven't. Here's one. Have you ever been to Hungary? Oh my God. How many hours is that? See, this is not a priority for you because you don't see yourself there. So you're going like, well, how many airports do you got to go through? And how many tests do you have to take? And how, you know, it's like you're thinking of all the stuff that's going to stop you from getting to Hungary. I'm thinking of all the ways that I'm just going to get there. I've never flown there. I've never been through Paris. I've never been through Amsterdam. I'll figure it out. So when people say, well, how many people do you talk to? As many as I can, depending on the day. Some days, 0. Some days, hundreds. Sometimes I'm just in a groove and I'm just like, bing, 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 bing. And some of you overthinkers are, oh my God, you're going to get blocked on Facebook. You're not connecting. You're not connecting. If someone asks me, if I ask them permission to send them a private message and they say, yeah, that person usually doesn't send a message out. When you're doing copy and paste, wing, wing. I've never, ever, ever, ever had even a warning from Facebook when I'm using an audio chat. Wow. Because every message I sent is not the same. If you guys are copy and pasting, Facebook is going, oh, there went 1, there went 2, there went 3. Let's put a flag on them. There went 4, 5, warning. They're not paying attention, block. I mean, that's how, listen to me, I'm going to be bold this year. That's how unaffective you are, unauthentic. A robot. Facebook and social media is not interested in blocking human beings. They're interested in blocking people that act like robots. How do people have millions of followers? What did you say about one of the Jenners?
She's got like 300 million Instagram followers or something. It's a crazy amount.
300 million followers.
Yeah.
I think that's from relating to people and not pitching them. I think if someone could analyze any of those people that have large influences, I guarantee you that a majority of their posts are just being them, just relating. So when all of a sudden they go, oh, by the way, I came out with a new makeup line, they're going, oh my God, this person has just been vulnerable. I've seen them cry. I've seen them talk about anything. I've seen all kinds of stuff with them. I've heard about their failures. They feel parasocial. They've never met her, but they follow her because she's being real. She's being authentic. She's being vulnerable. So then when she says, hey, I don't know if you guys would be interested in this book, before social media, guess who was that way? Oprah Winfrey. So when she was not having her own network, Craig knows this, Terry knows this. Hey, guess what? Guess what book I'm reading today? #1 seller. Because Oprah would come out and say, you know, I put my fat back on. You know what I mean? Oh my God, you know, I was raped by my uncle and got pregnant and then the baby died. People were like, dang, man. So Oprah Winfrey will go down in history as being someone that's willing to ask other people questions that other people give a rip about. Same reason we know Barbara Wawa. I was blessed to be one of the people that met her. So pretty cool.
All right. From number 55. You know who I'm referring to. Number 55 is, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought she was 65.
Well, I thought that the person sitting next to you was 65, or is that, I mean, number 65, number 65.
I've lost count. I've lost count. They're all special.
That's true. They are. And number 55 is very special, Melody Ryba. She has a question in how do you help someone who doesn't know what they want and make a connection between building a business to create the lifestyle they deserve?
Here's the short to this. You really, really got to push someone to dream. You really, really, really got to do it. And that takes a one-on-one Zoom. That's to build the trust and the stuff that you need. So when you first reach out to someone and ask them what they want, and they just say, really, got money in the bank, got money coming in, own a nice piece of property. Yeah, nothing. You got to really get this person to think outside of their head. And they're not used to thinking outside of their head. Maybe they've been surrounded by a bunch of people that told them they really wasn't anything. And, you're just a housewife and, you're not that smart. And, at least what you did is, got married and had some kids. Now you got some grandkids. Congratulations. Your journey's over. You know what I mean? So that's really hard, Melody. You know this. It's like getting people to dream again and really tell you what they want is difficult. So what I try to do is I always try to ask them what's most important. What is really most important to you? And if you find out that by asking that question that they seem to talk about everything but them, then you need to help them focus on that. So, I got grandkids. I love being a grandparent. Wouldn't it be cool to actually do something where if they wanted to pick any college they wanted to go to in the world, that you would say, I got that taken care of? If education's there, how about travel? So you got to start thinking outside of yourself of things that you can do for others if you can't figure out what you want in life. And it's got to touch you. You hear all these, actors and A-listers and even celebrities, billionaires, to think that whether you like Bill Gates or not, you might be one of those people that listen to people that have stories that don't know the truth. But, Bill Gates one time found out that there was a lot of children all over the world that didn't even have a shot to not only not make it without dying because of mosquitoes, they never got fed, and they didn't have an education. So for him to step away from Microsoft to start the Gates Foundation, and now goes down in history as being known as one individual that has given more out to children than any other person on the planet. I don't think he does that for you guys. I think he does that because he wants another calling, another thing in his life. So I think that when history is written, Bill Gates will be known as an individual that took on malaria and was an individual that was able to wipe it off the planet, where it used to kill millions of kids. That'd be better than being known as for Microsoft, as someone that did that. So that's what I would say to you. You got to really, really work with someone to get them to want something. If they're not looking and excited for the future, they won't do anything. So that's what you do. And get this, Melody, you already know this. Most people don't know what they want. So I believe it was Mark Twain that said, I can help anyone in the world get what they want in life. I just can't find people that know what they want. So you got to work on that.
Okay. Let's see. Here's another question from Lisa Marie.
Okay.
If you know someone who has stinking thinking, how do you introduce them to personal development?
Ooh, that's really, really hard. They got to want it. It's just like meditation. It's like people say, oh my God, I hear you talk about how important meditation is, but I'll just bypass that. It's like, so personal development for some other person that needs it. Here's one thing, this popped in my head and I'll leave it at this. If you can't convince them or get them interested in doing it, you gotta be an expert from afar. You gotta find somebody or something and do the same thing I'm trying to teach people here to do. All right. Hey, let me share with you why you're a miracle. Go backwards, right? I remember certain dark things that were happening in my life where I didn't feel like I was anything. In fact, times when I felt like I shouldn't be here. But thank God someone introduced me to the greatest miracle in the world by Og Mandino. And I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I'm just going to send you the book. Hopefully you'll see a time and read it. And if they go into judgment mode, it's like, oh my God, the greatest miracle in the world, miracles. That sounds like something, Hoshi or whatever, it's amazing to me how much people fight for the right to be the person they don't like. That was a poet, didn't even know it. It's like, and unfortunately, the majority of the people are there. Majority of people, the saying that, I came up with after being with a bunch of mentors, what that you would be willing to fight for. If it wasn't true, when would you like to know? So I know one thing that a lot of wealthy, happy people, did you guys hear me add the happy, add the fulfillment? Uh-oh, there's your grandkid.
Oh.
Get to see Milo. Now the boys are going, oh, I know that name. But yeah, it's just amazing. It really, really is amazing to me that, people just think they've already arrived. They're just not willing to learn any more about themselves or the concept of knowing something. And, the one thing I said, that all really successful people that I know that are fulfilled, happy, living incredible lifestyles, when you really follow people like Richard Branson, I'm inspired by Richard Branson, just inspired. How many of you guys would like to have your own airline that takes you to your own island? And it's like any kind of industry he wants to get in, it gets in. You know what I mean? Wow, I think space travel would be pretty cool. Let me jump in that. You know what I mean? Or whatever. But when you see the way he lives his life, he always comes across like he doesn't know anything. You never catch that guy saying, this is the way it is. He goes, I think this is what we're going for. And he knows that it's going to change as he moves forward. So the happiest people that I've met that are financially done, they don't know a lot. They know that they can come up with a vision and an idea of changing things, and then they can attract people that know more than them. And they're really, really good at putting a lot of people together that know what they know and putting them together and share a vision where they can create something. So there you go.
Do we have time for one more question and then a wrap up? Is that good?
Sure.
Okay, fantastic. Because thank you so much for, doing this today. Wow, what thank you to the audience for some amazing questions. Have a question here overseas. Jan Seegers asking, is there a difference in your approach for people in the U.S. or Europe, meaning like different cultures on network marketing? And also, how do you deal with the language differences? Because I know you've traveled over to Eastern Europe and you've traveled to South America and you've had this firsthand. So what better way to share your experience with us on this question?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for bringing that up. One of the things you guys are going to constantly get me to tell you is that if you're going out and going to build a connection with people, why not find the people that are the 5%ers, the 3%ers, the 1%ers? And here's what I found out about every country is that people have a tendency of understanding that if they want to make a difference in their world and everyone else's world, they already are very resourceful in figuring out how to communicate with people. What I mean by that, they could not understand or speak English, but they don't tell me that. Did you guys catch that? So they'll send me a question in English. I'll respond in English. And then they come back with a response in English. This is a very resourceful individual. This is persons that say, I want to work with the best people out there. And for whatever reason, a majority of them understand English. So I'm going to figure out how to do the translation myself. These people that don't speak English also know somebody that is bilingual. They seek them out. And they'll reach out to me and go, Robert, I'd love to do a Zoom with you. And I say, sure, let's set it together. Oh, by the way, I'll have, Ola on the call, and he'll be doing translating for me. One of my top leaders in Latin America, Alexander, does not speak a lick of English. But I do training. He reaches out to me. Hey, brother, yeah, is there any way you could do a training for us? Yeah, no problem. Sets the time, promotes me like crazy. I get on there, and Vicente's on there. Vicente's a translator. So what I'm sharing with you, how do you pronounce his name? I call him Jan.
Either Jan or Jan. I think it depends on how, where he is, but it's Jan.
Yeah. So people with limiting beliefs, limiting thoughts, stinking thinking says, I can't communicate with people in other countries. And I say, no, the top 5% that I want in my business, the people that want to make a lot of money and make a difference, no, they already know how to do that. I'll give you a perfect example. My whole group in Hungary that speak Hungarian and don't speak any English. I'll do a video. So when I do a video, like, why Amway's kicking our ass, then I'll go to rev.com and I'll have it translated into English. And I send them the transcriptions. They know how to turn them into Hungarian. People that are not 5%ers, they complain. Why don't you translate the videos? Wait a minute. How did I understand that they wanted the videos translated? Because they figure out how to say that in Hungarian. I've never got passionate like this in a long time. They know how to complain in English. They know how to find problems in English. They're on the, every time I see Joss and Jenna, they got this excited vision and future for us, and they're sharing it all. And while you're watching them in their monthly video, is it coming to Canada? Have you figured out Canada yet? What about Pakistan? It's like, oh my God. Why not just figure out the countries they're in? And every country, you know what every country has in common? You guys ready for this? What every country has in common is a bilingual person that lives in the United States. Everyone. So if you wanted to build a group in whatever country, you could go on Google and say, how many people from Hungary live in the United States? Only 2.4 million. They found a way to come over here. Do you think they want everyone when they showed up in this country? Do you think they want, I need everyone to speak Hungarian? Oh, hell no. So isn't it funny that, people in China and Asia and people that want to build a successful business will learn the language or they'll find a translator. So Jan, I hope that answered your question. That's how you do it. So yeah, you start looking for the right people and you find the right people that want to make this business work. There we go, Craig.
Okay. And one final question, because it is Melody. Would you, Robert, consider doing breakthrough sessions like you used to do on these calls? Because, she says, so powerful. I agree. They're incredible.
I would say yes. It's hard for me to tell Melody no. She's like, probably in the top 5 women in my life. So we'll have to figure out another time to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Not on these Saturdays where, I'm going to constantly be talking about people how to build this industry. But what we could do is set aside a different time, not every week, where if people want me to wake them up, that's what I call a breakthrough now. is that, if you're not getting the right results, it's because you've made a decision not to make it a priority. So you actually do it every day. That's all it is. That's all it is. You guys have probably seen me, lose weight, and people say that, I look healthier. It's because I made a decision in August that I want to take my dogs for a walk. And that small little 5-minute walk turned into 10, that turned into 2 miles when I do it. So even after the walk, it ends up being like 1.9 or 1.95. Well, that's a good time to keep walking and pick up all the dog crap. It's like, hey, it's like, it doesn't make a difference how much money you make or how special you are.
Still has to pick up the dog shit on our walk.
You still got to pick up the dog stuff,
I'm out.
So, yeah, so it's like, that's done a lot for me. And, I remember reading something that said, losing weight's not difficult. It's, calories in, calories out. It's just that simple. So if you're eating something, maybe don't eat a lot. When you're done, maybe walk 10 minutes, and I thought I can do 10 minutes. So it's neat not to weigh, 310 or 320 pounds anymore. So it feels better. It seems to me that it looks better, but yeah. And I seen Kai here really put, I want to really help you guys with this. The people that feel like they need anything is a limiting belief. Did you guys catch that? I wish I had a good upline. I wish I knew what to say. I need a breakthrough. I need. You guys need to dive more into Abraham Hicks's stuff because you have everything you already need. You're just making an excuse. I need something. What if what you need never comes? But I do understand breakthroughs because I had someone get in my face and say, okay, Robert, you had a bad childhood. What if your parents never ever say to you that they made a mistake? What if your parents never say they love you? What if your parents never said, I'm sorry? Would you please forgive me? What if that never happens? The day someone said that to me was the day my whole life changed. When I no longer needed the people in my past that I believed at that moment in time hurt me, I don't need it anymore. So some of you write down a list of all the things you need to be happy, fulfilled. Did you notice I put those first? Happy, need, fulfilled, loved, worthy, enough. I'll talk about that tomorrow. So I get people that are mentors, and I get people that are, like Belinda Dupree, that they won't tell me that I'm a bad person, but what they'll do is they'll go out of their way to make sure to tell me that I'm a good person. But I still have to believe that. So when people say they need a breakthrough, what they really need is they need to be inspired. If you're stuck, I got a new Apple Watch. Thanks, honey.
You're welcome.
Okay. And so Matt got me my first one. Thanks, Matt. And when you think, when you think about this, when you think about this one thing, the new watch, I'm sure it probably uploaded with the other watches. When you go on there, there's a point of, they're calling it mindfulness now. So not only should you take a moment a number of times during the day to just be quiet and breathe, take some deep, deep breaths. It's funny when you find people that go, oh, the happiness, you got to learn how to breathe. People go, it's BS. So of course you don't believe that. So your life doesn't change. But mindfulness, the very first one on this watch that it said to me, take a moment, be still, and think about someone that inspires you. So who inspires you? Who are you following right now that inspires you? I can tell you right now, Josh and Jenna inspire me. They flat out inspire me. I always believed that someone could make a million a month in this industry, but now I know someone who has. When I look at Josh just turning 31 and I know what the guy's net worth is, that's motivating, very motivating. He's 30 and he already has Zwagel Foundation that's giving hundreds of thousands of dollars to people. And when something happens in a city, his semi truck with his semi driver can go to a store, pick up all the stuff they need, and he sends it there. I'm almost 60 and I'm not doing that. That's inspiring to me. So when he starts Zwagel Foundation, he hires his brother-in-law and his sister to run it because both of them work for other nonprofits. So he formulates a nonprofit. Now he employs his family to give hundreds of thousands of dollars away to people. Then he's got enough money where he says, listen, if you'll donate $1, I'll match it. So they go out there and raise $50,000, and then Josh puts $50,000 in himself. Who inspires you? If there's anyone that beats up on themselves more and continue tells you how vulnerable they are and what they think when they're not supposed to be thinking the right things and how they get off track, Jenna Zwagel is an inspiration to me. And other people go, oh my God, 1 minute she's this way and 1 minute she's this way. And then she thinks this and then she thinks this. The only difference between Jenna Zwagel and the rest of the people in the world is she says it. They just think it. So people are like, oh my God, you know, she's pro this and then she's pro this. That's people making decisions. That's people coming up with being passionate about one belief and then coming up with another one. You know what I mean? So people want to take one day of who she is and what she's talking about and then wrap that around her personality. That's not how you follow people. Why is it that when every actor or every well-knowing person, when they die, why is there always two groups of people? One group of people, man, let me tell you what this person did for me. Isn't it amazing when someone passes away, that all these people come out and say nice things about them, what they did during certain times in their life, and the people didn't even know that the person that died didn't even know that they made that big of a difference in someone's life. And then you got this whole group of troll haters that want to take their meaning in life and what they did on this planet and try to destroy it. That's a pretty pathetic individual, but they're hurting because they're in that mindset. Don't be that person. Try to learn to say something nice and positive about everyone. Try to find one thing. I've always tried to teach that to my sons, right, Matt? It's like, they'll come at me and they'll just tell me all this negative stuff about this person that has a lot of money. And I go, can't you find one thing? Find one positive thing that they did. No, you're listening and following a group of people that are telling you all the awful things about them. We could easily find a whole group of people that don't like Bill Gates. I just want to see the positive stuff he did. I know if it wasn't for his licensing of his software, I think the planet wouldn't have evolved and moved forward as fast as it did. Well, he stole it from somebody. Whatever, I don't know the whole story, but I still know that he got it to everybody. You guys see the point? It's like, listen, if all of a sudden the whole world now has access to the internet, and these billionaires that everyone thinks taking over the world, their number one goal every single day is to acquire new customers. New free customers. So if someone's not going to put internet in some country, then why don't I figure out a way? You know, people's not even paying attention to Elon Musk launching like 40 or 60 new satellites every month. It's like no one even pays attention. It's like, there goes another, wow, he's launching another rocket. Well, wow, he's launching another rocket. Oh, wow, he's launching another rocket. He's not just doing it for the hell of it. He's up there planning another 20, another 30, another 60 satellites. Why? So he can get everyone on the internet. One day I want a Tesla. in that neighborhood, that village. Well, the car uploads the software from the internet. They don't have internet there. Let me get it there. So if you guys really want to know who's going to run the world, it's going to be the people that are access to most people. The people that are going to run this planet in the future are the people that got the most free members. Man, did I say that out loud? The people that are going to rule the world are the people that got the most free members. Okay? I believe in you. Thank you, Craig, for hosting. Thanks for all the questions. I really appreciate you. My wife's fanning me now, so I got to go.
No, he's
But-
fanning me.
But Craig, what an incredible MC. And thank you,
you.
Melody and Matthew. And I love each and every one of you. Please send me, please send me a private message. If you guys like these, ask me anything. 'Cause I used to do them all the time. I think that I'm teaching so much and doing so many videos out there. You know, man, I'm telling you what, there's not a video that exists on the internet of Jim Rohn that I haven't watched. They made such an impact to me that I downloaded every one that I could find in case they disappeared. So like Jim Rohn said, I'm going to die twice. Once I'm going to stop breathing on this planet, and the other time is when people no longer says my name. So I just need to find the people that go, oh my God, this guy seems passionate. It seems like he cares for me. Seems like he's talking to me. I'm going to devour all this stuff and then ask him some questions and actually apply it. I'm going to go out and make a difference. If this guy cares, I want to care. Stop making it about you. No one can hurt you for reaching out to them and learning to get great at connecting with people. But I'm sorry, I can't just bless you and have you instantly do it. You guys have all heard my stories. I went out my first day to talk to people, and I took 8 hours, not including the commute from the valley to downtown LA. That took me an hour and a half. So that's 3 hours, 8, 9, 10, 11. That was 11 hours I dedicated to one day to not talk to anybody. Because at the beginning, I sucked. And at the beginning, I was scared. And at the beginning, I thought I could say something wrong.
And they don't know you're saying something wrong.
So I just, golly, I got to learn to ask this favor thing. I got to learn where I can look at someone and actually smile and connect with them. Ask them questions about themselves. Do you work around here? How difficult is it to connect with people on Facebook, take a second to look at their profile and ask them about themselves? The only people that won't do that are people that don't care. And if you don't care, this world's brutal. This world is brutal if you're reaching out to people and you don't care about them and you're just looking to make money. We're living in a lifetime popularity contest. And for those people that just want to be robots and copy and paste and hope that you might get somebody, this is a brutal world for those people. For me that love to connect with new people, like I've connected with all of you, this is something I say all the time. I look at the number of people on here, and is there anybody on here that I haven't had a personal talk with? I'm looking. So why did I take the time to reach out to you? Why did I think that you were important enough to do a chat on Facebook? Why do I care enough to do a Zoom with you? You guys all know that if I looked at your production, I wouldn't bother talking to you at all. If I looked at the impact that you made in this world, I wouldn't talk to you. So why do I? Because I used to not impact anybody. If I impacted anybody, it was myself, and it was in a negative way. And because I had such stinking thinking, I would impact people that now are the love of my life in a negative way. Because when you're negative and you don't love yourself, you don't treat people right. So I had to learn to love myself. I learned how to be responsible, how to make decisions, and how to develop a habit. That's all I had to do is say, man, what if I could actually get so good at this that I enjoyed and loved connecting with people all day, every day? Like the last time I looked in my back office, we had 5,500 people that are personally enrolled by us.
Wow. I've been busy.
Yeah. So Craig, again, Matthew, everyone for jumping on here. Please, you know, I'll tell you one thing in closing. Now moving forward in life, we don't know who or will not get the message. Have you guys noticed that? We really don't know. It's like there's not a mark on the forehead that says this person is a student right now and they're open to listening. They're finally had enough in life. So do me a favor. If you could do anything as a payback to me, make sure you share this with everyone you know. Share it on your personal wall. I won't steer you wrong. For those of you that are still in that mentality of being a scarcity mentality, thinking, oh my God, why in the hell would someone want to do a business with me? That if I share Robert's stuff, they'll go to him. I'm smart enough to know that if someone comes to me and says, hey, Delroy reaches out to me. Hi, Delroy, how you doing? He reaches out to me and he says, hey, Robert, I got some questions for you. I'm looking about getting involved in MDC. I click on mutual friends. And when I click on mutual friends and I say, how do you and Kai know each other? Oh, I met Kai at a gym. Listen, I'm here to help you, but if you're going to get involved, you need to get Kai's affiliate link. Let me get it for you. So if you have scarcity thinking, you won't share. Me, I'm not worried about anyone taking the people that were meant for my organization. So love and appreciate you guys. Share this with the world. Thank you, my love. Near miss. Okay. Thank you, Craig. Thank you so much, Melody. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
And don't forget,
everybody.
ladies and gentlemen.
Gloucester.
Robert has 2 books. Go to his website, roberthollis.com/programs, and pick up How Is That Working and Shackled to Freedom. Amazing books, worth the read. And
Craig?
Yes?
Me and Matt are working on a new one.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Number 3 on the way. Look out, look for it.
We even think we know what the title is. You are a character.
Ooh.
The only reason we did that one, Craig, because we knew we didn't want to steal your title, which is You Are a Tool.
Oh my goodness.
Pull the plug, Craig. He's off the rails. Pull the plug.
I guess so, yeah.
Pull the plug.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. We so appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for joining us here on AMA Ask Me Anything, and we'll look forward to seeing you not only the next time on another AMA, but also during the week when Robert shares his trainings with us every day at 12 noon Pacific. Matthew, thank you so much for helping us out today. Melody, you too. And again, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please be good to yourself, be cash, and bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Love you all. Thank you so much.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Hello, Michael. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Rita.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks,
bet.
everybody.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Sarah.
Thank you, Robert. You're awesome, buddy.
You're awesome, Bill. Appreciate you. See you, Kai. See you, Ola.
Thank you much, Robert.
Thank you very much.
That was awesome.
You bet. Bye for now, you guys. See you, Delroy.